Hey Miss Cho's AP Gov class, welcome back to Crash Course. Today we're tackling a Supreme Court showdown that redefined federalism, McCullough versus Maryland, the case that asked, can a state tax a branch of the national bank? Buckle up, because this battle between state and federal power is about to get wild.
So picture this, 1819, America's still young and figuring itself out. Enter the second bank of the United States. But not everyone's thrilled. Maryland, for one, is like, nah, my state, we got our own banks, and smacked the bank with a hefty tax. James McCullough, head honcho at the Baltimore branch, says,
hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
This branch is federal, and the Constitution Supremacy Clause says, federal law trumps state law. Boom, Supreme Court time.
Dun 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 dun. Later that day.
Order! Chief Justice John Marshall presiding.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And is Mr. McCullough here?
Uh-huh.
Very well, let's begin.
Now, Maryland argues.
Nah. The Constitution doesn't say Congress can create banks. This violates our state's rights.
Valid argument. McCullough, your response?
McCullough counters.
Sure, but there's this handy-dandy clause called necessary and proper.
What exactly does that mean?
The Congress shall have power to make all laws which shall be necessary and proper for carrying into execution the foregoing powers and all other powers vested by this Constitution in the government of the United States or in any department or officer thereof.
Okay, but now what does that mean?
Basically, it lets Congress do stuff that's not explicitly listed as long as it helps with the powers it already has, and a bank is pretty darn necessary for managing taxes, borrowing money, and all that schniz.
Oh, okay, it's very interesting. I think we reached
But Chief Justice John Marshall, smooth as ever, delivers the unanimous verdict. McCullough wins. The bank is
legitness. Yeah, it was.
and Maryland can't mess with it. This case established two key principles.
First, federal supremacy. When federal and state laws clash, federal wins. Sorry, states, gotta respect your big bro.
And second, implied powers. Congress can do stuff beyond what's listed in the Constitution, as long as it's necessary and proper for its other powers. Think of it as a toolbox with a few basic tools, but you can use them to build all sorts of cool stuff.
But wait, there's more. This case also sparked a debate about federalism that's still raging today. How much power should the national government have? How much should states have? It's a balancing act, and McCullough versus Maryland was a major turning point in that ongoing struggle.
Open letter. Dear esteemed justices of the Supreme Court of the United States of America, thank you for McCullough v. Maryland. Now, I can finally sleep soundly knowing that my tax dollars are safe from pesky state governments. After all, who needs their own unique economic policy when the federal government can do it all for us? And that necessary and proper clause, brilliant. It's like a magic wand for Congress, allowing them to do whatever they want as long as they whisper the right words. No checks and balances here, just pure unadulterated power. So long, states' rights. It was nice knowing you. But honestly, who needs individuality or local control when we have a glorious, homogenous nation ruled from the top down? So you have our thanks. Maybe all the federal monetary mistakes of the last 100 years could have been prevented by allowing the states fiscal autonomy, but just like the great Ye said, I guess we'll never know. So thank you, Supreme Court. So next time someone asks, can the feds do that? Remember McCullough versus Maryland. It's a reminder that sometimes the Constitution's not just black and white. It's also a little bit necessary and proper.
Thanks for hanging out, Miss Cho's class. Don't forget to subscribe for more Supreme Court drama. And as always, stay curious.